And good afternoon. Welcome to Community Comment here on 95.3 WBEV. Cale Zomer, thrilled to sit in as guest host on today's Community Comment, and so excited to chat with today's guests. We have Scott Smith, Lori Smith, and Nate Smith with Noel's Angel Walk, of course, part of the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. Always a pleasure to have you folks in.
Thanks, Cale. It's great to see you.
Thanks for coming out. Of course, we get to be in pretty regular contact, but it's always nice when you get to come in and we get to sit down and chat and remind folks what's going on. And let's start by talking. Obviously, we've got a lot of longtime supporters of the Radiothon, possibly familiar with Noel's Angel Walk. But for those who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about how Noel's Angel Walk got started and a little bit about its namesake.
Sure. Well, Noel's story ended tragically. Unfortunately, a healthy little girl, and the flu took her life back in 2008. And so part of our effort in repeating her story and talking about Noel over the years has been awareness for parents, trying to humanize that tragedy in a way that might motivate parents to make sure they're seeking out medical professional information, making healthy choices for their kids. So that's really been a message of ours throughout time. But the Angel Walk itself really was sparked after Noel passed, and we were on a walk, Lori and I, and wondering what to do with ourselves. And there's many awful things that come with the loss of a child. One of them is not just the loss of what you had, but the loss of what could have been, and all the impact that child would have had with friends and family over the years. And that part of it is something we just couldn't leave alone. And so we were aware of the Radiothon, and we were talking about that as we're walking, and Lori had the epiphany of, how about a fundraiser walk? And I'll let you take it from there, because then you started making phone calls, and here we are.
So the story goes, we were talking about us wanting to do something in a walk, and I was listening to the radio then again, and I had heard the Children's Radiothon, like Scott said, that we knew about, and one of the ladies at the time that was in charge of the Radiothon was a PTO mom at my school. So I thought, maybe I should contact her, Jill Cullen, if you remember Jill Cullen. And I called her up after the Radiothon was done, and maybe it wasn't the best day, because now that I know all the work that goes into it, so I called her up and I said, we really want to, do a walk. Is there any way you could fit that in? And she said, well, we have the 6 a.m. slot open, and but I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to handle adding something else, so you'd be in charge of it. And
that's exactly what Lori needed to hear.
I was like, yes, I can be in charge of it. So I was so excited.
It went from there, and I got to tell you, there was people. The first walk was really magical. Is the only really best way to describe it. And how that turnout was tremendous, and just I remember looking back and walking the course up in front, and we're talking on the radio at the time, and they had their Sherpa packs on, and we're didn't have a cell phone. It wasn't that long ago, but there's no cell phones to be able to communicate with. So they were trying to interview us while we were walking, but we had people say, well, that's it, right? Because you're not going to be able to repeat this. So no, we're gonna keep doing it. And to Lori's credit, very largely to Lori's credit, here we are in the 16th annual Noel's Angel Walk.
I was just going to say, you mentioned 2008. It's 2024. Here we are 16 years later.
Yeah.
Could you have ever imagined that?
No, I did. We thought, well, maybe after a couple of years we might be doing it by ourselves, was kind of truly what we thought. Well, let's keep, if it's 4 or 5 of us doing the walk, we're going to keep doing it. But it's been a lot more than 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, and what's kind of, I don't know if it's sad actually, but it's looking back at some of the memories the memories we have are just it's amazing. We look at the pictures, and some of the people that have walked with our walk are actually I guess you could look at it as a happy way too. They are now walking literally with Noel up in heaven, because we have
a lot of life has taken place. Yeah.
16 years. A lot of life has changed,
and that really ties it together with the intention of keeping the memory going, keeping a part of Noel going. She would have, we would have gone through all that stuff with her, and having the walk as a kind of representation of her, and going through that much life with you guys and with our own family, and getting to know all the family here at the radio station and our family participating. It's been, nothing takes the place of having had Noel here, but it's pretty cool.
I was going to say, you talked about, starting this as something to keep Noel's name out there and her memory alive. Do you feel like that's done that in 16 years?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now in something we had hoped for when Nate came around, and Nate, Lori can maybe mention this, the story of the Nate's been on every walk. Not
One way or the other.
Yeah, one way or the other, because Lori's expecting on the first walk with Nate.
Yeah, that's where I announced that we were expecting.
But now with Nate being to the age where he's got friends involved and he's taken over a large part of stuff that I'm not very good at, and taking the place of things kind of I had been doing too when working with his mom, just that part of it too. So his connection to his sister that he never got to meet and all that is super cool.
Yeah, Nate, I was, I'm so interested in your perspective because you have a very different perspective. Obviously, your parents here have been doing this, the whole time and organizing it. I've been a part of every radiothon that the Angel Walk has been, so I've had that perspective. But you had the perspective of quite literally being born into this into this thing. What has it been like now that you're older and you can obviously really understand what it's all about? What has it been like for you growing up in this and getting to understand more about it?
It's pretty cool to be able to help with a good cause and to help keep her name alive through it. And
for you, does it help you feel more connected to Noel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives like a way to know about her without actually knowing her.
Yeah,
Something a little more concrete than just.
It's an
Yeah.
easier
Yeah.
way to talk about her. It's
Right.
because we all know it's an uncomfortable situation when
Yep.
you talk to someone about someone who has passed, and it's a way that he can incorporate that as part of his life. So
Yeah, and I can speak to, I can somewhat empathize with how that feels and the good that it brings to you. Obviously, I've dealt with a situation in the last year, and we've done some, not anything to this degree, but
Still.
we did something similar where we wanted to keep a memory out there and do something good, and it really, it's a pretty special way. If you haven't experienced it, it's hard to really comprehend, but it's a pretty special way to connect with someone you've lost, and so it's what a fantastic way to turn just probably the worst possible situation in the world into just such a positive. And I should have looked back before we got on the air to look over the years. So I don't know any idea over the 16 years what it's raised in total. I think last year was close. We were around $15,000, something like that.
No, the total we were up over 150,000 2 years ago.
that's 1 year, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever without adding last year's in, so I think we're approaching 175-ish.
I mean,
And
talk
that,
about
yeah.
impact.
Yeah, I mean,
Talk about
it's not the Mac fund, but I think for
I
here
mean,
and what
Scott,
we're
I'm
doing,
pretty sure you wouldn't have been able to just give that out of your pocket over the last few years. So that's a pretty major impact that's made.
It is, and we understand the importance of what the reason for it all is, and that's about raising money for agencies that benefit, that help kids. I mean, that's the bottom line, and that you've created the vehicle for that here at Good Karma, and it let us be a part of that. Is just, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better situation,
Yeah,
really.
it has been, I know from our perspective, it's been such a great match and a great relationship. We've gotten to work together over the years, and we're also so grateful for the Noel's Angel Walk and what you guys have done. Well, let's get into the details. We've got a walk coming up in a week from
Holy-
today.
holy moly.
Crazy.
My goodness,
Holy
where
moly.
has the time gone?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this year's walk and fill us in on some of the details, what we need to know.
Well, go ahead, Nate. Nate has created this. This is why it's wonderful bringing him into our walk. He has created the website during the time of lockdown, COVID, all that. I said, I really want a website, and he said, well, let me look at it. I can help create it. Well, through the years, he's added more, and he's so go ahead and tell them how can you get registered?
You can go on our website, noelsangelwalk.com. And when you go to our website, then
Oh,
no
just like
apostrophe.
Going to show you.
There's
We're
no
gonna if you're
apostrophe.
watching, of course, if you're listening on 95.3
And
WBEV,
then you go
can
down
also,
you click on the link for run sign up.
Which is a bit confusing because
Just
it's not a
wait.
run, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a walk.
If we go back, there's no apostrophe in Noel's Angel Walk. It's just, yep, and then it's
that helps.
coming.
Also, no spaces.
If you're listening on radio,
Yeah,
if
it's
you
coming.
check out the video stream at dailydodge.com.
There we
And Ninja is pulling up the website right now if you're watching the video stream, so you can check out and see what the website's all about.
And this is all Nate's doing, this website.
And then if you click on, when you're on the home page, you can click on the link for Noel's Angel Walk Run sign up. And then when you follow that link, you can go through all of our ability to register. And then on that page, you can also make a donation. And
important to note that the donation part is separate from the registration. So
Yes.
there's an opportunity to donate, and know that whether you are giving registration money, funds for that, or making a donation, or both, all of that's going to the Radiothon. Sponsors, we have some great sponsors that contribute, and if there's any costs involved with T-shirts and things like that, it's covered by those donations. So I think it's very fair. We've always said that each year, that it's a registration's a donation, and the additional monies is all donation. It doesn't go to other costs.
Important details on the walk this year. Throw the times out there, and what does it cost to get registered?
To register, it's $25, and like Scott said, you get it goes to the Radiothon, and you do get a T-shirt included in that. This year they are sky blue. I will pick them up
color.
on Monday. Yes, so you get that, and children 12. If you're under 12, kids don't need to pay.
Okay.
Only if they want the T-shirt. And the registration, you can register online, like we said, or you can go down to, when you come to the park at Waterworks Park at 6 o'clock. We will be there for registration.
6 a.m.
And
6 a.m.
we'll
registration.
we'll do that until 6:45, and then the walk will start 7 o'clock. That is next Thursday at Waterworks Park, and there's a 1 mile and a 2.5 mile route.
Important to note, the 1 mile and 2.5 mile route. The 1 mile route we call that the grandma's route. Although if you're not a grandma or you're much younger, we're not trying to offend. But it came from actually our parents at the time, who both passed away since. But we wanted a shorter. They wanted to participate, but they needed a shorter route.
Yep.
And we also realized that people need to go to work on Thursday, and that's an optional. You can still participate, walk a mile, and maybe it takes 20 minutes or so. And if you start work at 8 a.m., you have plenty of time. We try to do our best to get it going at 7, just because of that. We have a little preamble and ceremonial thing that we go through before the walk actually starts, but it doesn't last long. And we're really often walking by 5 after 7 or so. So anybody trying to make plans and they've got to work and they're wondering about how they can make that happen, lots of folks do that.
Yep. And if you like coffee and you're a morning person, don't worry, because Nanotech Coffee will have you covered. We have our sponsors, Nanotech Coffee, so we'll have that down at 6 o'clock. And then Aramark Food Services, they do a wonderful job sponsoring us with all sorts of snacks at the park, bakery, cookies, water. So that'll be available at 6, and it's all packaged and ready to go. So after you're done walking, if you have to get to work, just grab
something to
something and go. Take your coffee, take your snacks. So
Perfect. You've really got everything covered, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to ask, what about snacks? Because I know there's been snacks in the past, and I think Airmark has been working with you for a couple years now.
Since the beginning. Well, since the
second year.
Yeah.
It's the first year everyone was hungry.
we tried a breakfast for a few years, and they sponsored that, and that went okay, but that ran its course.
Sure.
And now we've backed that off, and they still provide all the bakery we
Yeah.
can. So I want to say it's a positive from COVID, but everything had to be prepackaged there. And now that
sure.
we've kind of kept with that, and it helps us encourage people to take stuff with them when they go. So
Right.
you can. We don't like leftovers. We want people to take all that stuff with them.
One quick question about the T-shirts. Do you have to pre-register online to get the T-shirt, or will there be some available day of registration as well?
That's a good question. We will not have any on hand available at the walk.
Okay.
But when you register, your T-shirt is included, and she's very fast at printing them, and I will get them for you within the next week, and then we can arrange a pickup, or you can pick them up here with you guys.
So if you want your T-shirt day of walk, make sure you get registered.
Yep.
Is there still time to do that?
There isn't.
I was gonna say, I
No,
suppose with 1 week
'cause
left
it's
to go,
just
that
1
probably
week.
isn't the case. So
Yep, so-
at this point, still register.
Yep.
But and so you'll still get a shirt, but it'll just be after the walk, and you'll be able to brag to everybody that
Yep.
you finished the grandma course on the Noel's Angel Walk.
Whether it's your first one or your
yeah.
16th T-shirt,
Yeah.
go ahead and get it. And of course, if you don't have to be at work for a little while, walk that 2.5 mile with us. It's a nice walk.
Yes, exactly. And I've already called in some favors for good weather for the day. So
There you go.
talked to
Okay.
our meteorologists, and they've said they'll put in a good word. They make no promises, but they'll put in a good word. So again, you can go to noelsangelwalk.com to see all the info. You can also link there through our website. If you go to dailydodge.com, click on Radiothon. There's a link there, Noel's Angel Walk, that brings you right to their website, get you the same place. So lots of ways to get there. So obviously the walk, but we talked about the fact that it started as a walk, but it really has become a year-round effort, and there's things happening with Noel's Angel Walk all year long. There's a couple coming up just in the next week we're going to talk about in a minute, but if you would just touch on some of the past ones you've done here over the last year. I've got a few that come to mind, but I'd love to hear a few of the ones you've done this past year.
One of my favorites is, and maybe Nate's favorite too, is Pie the Teacher in the Face fundraiser. So his student council, this is what's so awesome. He got his middle school student council to do this fundraiser.
And what it is kids can pay money and then they get a ticket to have a chance to pie whatever teacher they choose in the face. And we also do lots of other fundraisers. We've had Marco's Pizza is one.
You had a dance for us.
We had Jersey
I
Mike's.
thought you meant, okay, yep.
Yeah, I was
Jersey
just thinking we just
Mike's.
recently had Jersey Mike's
Yep.
here a few weeks ago,
Yep.
a month or two ago. Big thanks to them for doing that, and that went really well. Gave me a great excuse to go grab my Jersey Mike's sub for dinner, so that was great. And I know one of the ones that come to mind. First of all, I know you're kind of a technology guy, Nate. Any way you can find a way to send me back to high school so that I can pay to pie some of my teachers in the face, because I would have really loved that opportunity.
Don't think I can do that.
One of the other ones that come to mind, too, that I was thinking about was the big holiday event that you put
yes.
on. That was great. I was able to come out with my 8-year-old, and she had a blast decorating Christmas cookies,
Yeah.
and I think made a popsicle stick snowman, and we had lunch. We came out too late to missed the choirs, and I was bummed about that. So this year we'll make sure to come in time to catch that. But what a great event that was!
Yeah,
too.
we had all of the we started out years ago with that fundraiser. Actually, when Nate was in elementary choir, that's how I started it with Mrs. Ashbrook, and it's branched out to the high school choirs come, and we have the middle school choirs and the elementary choirs. So we have the 3 choirs that come and sing Christmas carols with us, and then, like you said, we have the cookie decorating, and we had pizza available for lunch. That was a great
Yeah.
event.
We want to make sure people that if we can continue to keep that going, we want to make sure, because we got to be the only thing in town that has elementary, middle school, and high school all the choirs
Probably.
in one morning like that at Christmas.
Yeah.
doing Christmas carols. It was great.
Yeah, it was a great event. We had a great time, and I know there's been a lot of other things too throughout the years. I know usually every year you organize some kind of fine chocolates fundraiser, and there's just so much that goes on. So it really has become. Is there a week at any point in the year where you don't work with something Noel's Angel Walk related?
What has really been a very neat thing that's happened is people are contacting me or Scott and even Nate at school, and so it's been easier. I've already got a couple in the works because somebody's contacted me, and it's awesome because it does help us keep our name alive, and people in the community hear about it, and so yeah, it's fun.
and on that note, speaking of people reaching out to you and new things coming up, there's a couple of things besides the walk next Thursday, a week from today. There's some things, one happening right now and a couple happening in the next week. That's going to be going on as part of Noel's Angel Walk. So let's talk about those. Let's first talk about, because it's already a week and a half in, the great thing going on at Great Harvest.
Yep. Justin out at Great Harvest has he's doing, for the full month of June, he's doing the kids meal, and anyone can be a kid. It's a good meal, isn't it, Nate?
Yep. You get a cookie, and you get a little toy.
Oh, don't forget the sandwich.
And
The
a
sandwich.
sandwich.
Got a number of
Sandwich,
sandwiches to
yeah.
choose
All
from.
the stuff.
Variety of
I'm biased to the pep roll.
The cookie was the highlight, though.
Yeah, those
Yep.
are pretty darn
Yeah,
good
so
cookies.
there were, I believe, there's the turkey sandwich, the pepperoni roll, the grilled cheese, and a peanut butter and jelly.
PB&J,
And then you
yep.
get that and chips and the cookie of your choice. And if you are, if you want the toy, you can get the toy or you can pass it up.
And that is going on all
now,
month long
yep.
of June. So stop down there multiple times, and it's great because you can go and have your lunch, or if you're a light dinner eater, you get your dinner, and then support a great cause. So that's great. Next thing we got coming up here in 2 days? Today's Thursday, so 2 days away from the car wash. Talk a little bit about that.
Second annual. Can you say second
Second.
annual? Is
Yeah,
it
why
annual
not?
once it's the second or third? Okay, the second car wash for the kids. How did we come up with a car wash in the first place? What sparked that?
It's because we wanted to bring it back.
Yeah, it
Wanted to
used
bring
to
back
be,
the car wash.
Used to be part of the
Yep.
main radiothon
Back in the
years
day.
and years
Years
ago,
ago.
and then for whatever reasons that kind of went away. And
We brought it back because that's why it stopped, because the kids were growing up and they were going away to college. So I had a kid that could wash a car, and wow, perfect. Let's get a car wash going. And
And I thought maybe we'll have, maybe 10, 12 cars come through. We had 10, 12 cars in the first probably 20 minutes. We moved them
was
out
crazy.
last year. It kept us busy, and the 4 hours went quick. I didn't plan on working that hard, but we hope to work that hard again this Saturday from 10 to 2, Tower Lane's parking lot at 1660 North Spring Street here in Beaver Dam. Be right up front, can't miss us. We have enough people. We should be able to do the same process. We had a great thing going last year. We do the wash section. You pull forward, you get dried off, and the amount that you donate for the wash is entirely up to you.
Yep, I was
You want to
just
give us
gonna
a buck?
mention.
Great. You want to give us $20? Whatever you feel like you want to donate to the Radiothon, that is the cost of getting your car washed.
maybe you do a dollar for every inch long your vehicle is.
There you
I
go.
don't know. Something like
And
that.
there were
Figure
some
that out.
dirty ones.
And we should mention who's giving us supplies for the car wash.
AutoZone.
AutoZone gave
AutoZone
us
Beaver Dam.
supplies,
Yep.
and Eric over at Tower Lanes has been really good to work with, too.
And the power spray.
And the power spray is Austin Schmidt from All the Above.
Oh,
Yeah, he needs a big shout out. They were
Yep.
fantastic. He
Yeah,
came and
super.
dropped that off for us and let us go to town with it. And it was, of course, without that power washer, would have been a lot.
yeah, that
A
probably
lot.
comes in pretty
And the
handy.
water.
Oh, water from Beaver Dam Fire Department. Sorry, guys and gals. Yeah, don't forget them.
We
They
need
gave
the
us-
water.
yeah, Beaver Dam
Definitely
Fire
need
Department.
water to wash a car.
That was the coolest part. They brought the,
Uh-huh.
I love fire trucks. We like to pick on firefighters when you're from my line of work because they get to sleep at work and that kind of stuff. But no, they brought the fire truck and they gave us all the water we needed and came and refilled it up again even for us. And yeah, they were
So
fantastic.
people can bring out their cars, their SUVs, their trucks, motorcycle. You clean a
Not really.
motorcycle.
We didn't clean one last year, but it could be
How about an
interesting.
SUV? I know.
We did lots of-
Not SUVs.
UTVs.
UTVs. I know those just became
Possibly.
legal here in the streets.
Well,
If there's enough of it to
Well,
wash.
sure.
Sure.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
if we can get it wet.
I was
you don't
gonna
mind us
ask
getting it wet,
about
we'll wash it.
airplane, but I'm not sure there's enough
We
area
did
to
police
land
cars
there,
last
so.
year. We did a lot.
Did a lot of
police
Beaver Dam
cars.
PD cars last year. Yeah, Detective Coons
Yeah.
brought all his friends over, and we
There you go.
watched a lot of
Maybe
squad
a little
cars.
challenge out to the area
Yeah.
police departments. If you're listening and watching, got a couple of squads that need a good clean, and bring them on by Saturday,
Donate a few bucks, and we will wash your squads.
10 until 2 over at Tower Lanes, Beaver Dam, North Spring Street. Like Scott said, right out front. You can't miss them. Look for all the water spraying and the soap going everywhere. So that's this Saturday. And then next Thursday, obviously, we talked about the walk happening in the morning over at Waterworks Park. And then later that day, we're going to be having a brat fry out here in front of the radio station at 100 Bill McCullum Way from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m., which is going to be fun in itself. But you have arranged, if people have their brat and their soda, and then they're like, I could really use a little something sweet. And, well, Lori to the rescue, because talk about what you've got lined up for 11 to 1 next Thursday.
You can't have a brat without ice cream, so we got an ice cream truck coming. Tina from Tea's Cup and Cream in Randolph is bringing her ice cream cart, and she's going to have some yummy flavors. She'll have vanilla.
I think I saw cotton candy on the list.
And
Birthday cake,
and our favorite s'mores. But she is also doing these delicious, like, homemade cookies, chocolate chip, and she's making ice cream sandwiches out of those.
Yum.
And then for people that don't do ice cream, she's going to have the raspberry lemonade Italian ice, and she'll be set up throughout the whole brat fry, so 11 to 1.
See, still giving the love to the lactose intolerant folks.
Yep.
So little
Gotta do
option
that.
for everybody. So yeah, get your brat and your soda, and then hop over to the ice cream cart, and you can get your ice cream or the lemon ice, which sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does
really
sound good,
good.
doesn't
It's
it?
supposed to be hot too that day.
It's looking like a warmer day, so I think a cool treat will be perfect for that day. So again, that'll be from 11 to 1 here at the radio station, 100 Bill McCullum Way in Beaver Dam, next Thursday. Anything else we're forgetting we need to talk about? We've hit on a lot already.
Encourage you to come. Yeah, if you haven't tried the walkout before, come on out and join us for a walk. Dedicate it to whomever is important in your life, and know that the part of it that we dedicate ourselves to beyond Noel's memory is just spending some family time together, not thinking about work for a few minutes. So yeah, come and join us if you haven't done it before, and if you've done it before, come on back.
I just wanted to say a special thank you to Dr. Betsy Peterson over at Community Pediatrics. She has been with us since day one, and she will be there with her staff walking again this year. And we couldn't do all this without her support. So
That's
thank you.
fantastic. Nate, I feel like I haven't heard much from you, so if you would remind folks about the important times to keep in mind for the walk and how they get registered.
Thursday, June 20th. Registration starts at 6. The walk will start at 7. And make sure that you can register at noelsangelwalk.com, which you can find on dailydodge.com, or just go straight through Noel's Angel Walk website. Register through that, and then hope to see you at the walk.
Absolutely. Scott, Lori, Nate Smith with Noel's Angel Walk. We so appreciate you being in, appreciate everything you do, and so excited for next week.
I know.
Here we go.
Here you go, Kale.
Here we go. It's all or nothing.
We can do it.
Thank you so much for being in, and
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thank you.
And of course, I should mention, by the way, next Thursday during the Radiothon, 6 p.m. next Thursday, you'll be back with us on the air during the Radiothon to recap and talk about how the walk went, and maybe announce some numbers too.
Okay, it'll
So-
just be Scott and I because
Okay.
Nate is percussion and Anastasia this year.
That is important. So we'll play loud enough so that we can hear you over here.
I'll try.
All right. So that's next Thursday, 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in. Scott and Lori will be back with us to talk a little more at Noel's Angel Walk. So thanks again for being in. We'll see you
Thanks
guys
for
next
having
week.
us.
Thanks, Kale.
And that is going to do it for today's community comment.